Welcome back, Hoodlings. More Grim Fandango.
I always thought those girls are so cute. I just had to be mean to them. Like once when my sister got her tonsils taken out, and she had big puffy cheeks. I remember my aunt came to visit, and she goes, "Oh, you look so cute. I just want to be mean to you." And I never really understood it until we had these little baby angels in the game. I just want to just terrorize them so you can get out your scythe and scare them and do all these horrible things.
It's the Mr. Bill sick. And it's the Mr. Hands in all of us.
Take out my scythe and terrorize them.
No room for that. No room for that.
Can't take it out and do shit.
Hola, angelitos.
I'll bite you, I swear to God!
Please don't bite anyone else, Pugsy. That's why they put us in the cage in the first place.
Angelitos is actually the little children in the cage. Comes from a term that it was a popular kind of well, it was traditional in Mexico to take pictures of your children, even if they were died very young.
Yes.
Like photography of little dead children
whole
in a coffin.
genre. Yeah, it's.
I don't know if that happened in the States, but it was definitely in Mexico.
Mexico, yeah, I've seen those. I think you showed them to me actually.
And the word they use for children when they're young when they die is angelitos.
Oh yeah.
It's a dark game.
It is dark.
My name is Manny Calavera. What's yours?
Mr. Hurley told us about you. You're the one who tricked Meche.
Poor Meche.
Why do you want to bite me?
You're the mean new boss.
Mr. Hurley said you were meaner than him.
He said you had a bone saw.
You bite me and I'll sue your parents.
Our parents?
Hey, don't cry, children. Please, stop crying. I'm not so bad at this. Didn't trick anybody.
Mr. Hurley said he was supposed to take care of Meche, but you stole her case from him.
Is that true?
Meche's my friend. You can ask her.
She talked about you before.
Every time she says your name, she looks so sad.
I don't know what you did to her, but you're gonna be sorry.
What are you two doing in this cage?
Making light bulbs.
Look, we're working as hard as we can. Why don't you leave us alone?
Listen, children, I'm here to help.
There's really not much more room in here.
Your hands are too big to make light bulbs.
Let me see if I can explain this whole thing to you. You see, I had this job, selling travel packages to immigrant souls. If I sold enough of them, I got to leave the land of the dead. Now, I was in a slump, and I really needed a fat commission, so...
You're a bad man.
Go away, bad man.
Yeah, go away.
Yeah, fuck you, bad man.
My hands are not too big to make light bulbs.
Then why don't you help?
My butt's too big to sit on one of those little perches.
I'm gonna tell Meche you said that word to us.
I told you he was bad.
I just don't have any of those little tiny tools, that's all.
Here, take my hammer.
You're two bad little children. I'm glad you're in a cage. Very bad.
Little shitholes.
I'm the one who's gonna take Meche out of here.
What?
You can't do that.
Who's gonna take care of us? We'll be all alone.
Nice cage you have here.
Mr. Hurley grew demon ravens with human heads in here.
He said if we ever tried to get away, he'd send the ravens after us.
And let them make nests out of our bones.
I'm here to help you get out of this cage.
You can't do that. We have to stay here and take care of Meche.
She'd be so sad here all alone. Sometimes we hear her crying, you know.
Okay, back to work.
So mean.
I got a hammer. Hammer of justice.
Look, it's my Prince Charming. Are you back here just to insult me some more, or do you just want some ice for your head?
I'm using that shit.
Ow! Oh, my stockings! They're ruined! And this was my best pair! You try.
I love the pulling the stocking down and the of the leg bone being
That was
sexy.
our
That's
one
awesome.
cover image.
Yeah.
It was on a magazine, PC Games magazine.
Oh yeah,
That
I
image.
remember that. Yeah.
But what is that from? This is definitely a reference to Popeye.
And also, Go Ahead and Scratch, right?
Let's go ahead and scratch.
And it's when Humphrey Bogart in Maltese Falcon, not Big Sleep, Humphrey Bogart is meeting. Lauren Bacall comes into his office and she sits on his desk and she crosses her legs and she's scratching her knee, and the camera is showing you this from a interesting angle, right? And then she sees that he's looking at her scratching her knee, and she covers her knee with her dress. He says, "Go ahead and scratch," right?
Scratch. I was thinking more of Popeye. Olive oil falls into cement, and she steps out of cement, and everyone's whistling at her because she has shapely legs. And
Oh,
the cement falls away, and she has olive oil legs.
Oh, I forgot that.
That's what I always think of when I think of the scene.
There it is.
Nothing but dark waters that direction.
I like dark waters. I like the misery.
I'll show him. Why, I oughta. Ooh, to the moon, he says.
Chapito!
Huh? Who? Oh, you, is it? Why, I oughta. Look at my eyebrows.
Reciprocating chisel. This scene is kind of actually right out of the Fountainhead. This really, I think it's Gary. Is it Gary Cooper or someone like that? He's doing this super manly, like drilling into this wall, and the love interest of it comes over and like is watching him, getting all aroused in a kind of a 1930s kind of way, and she's so mad that she's out riding her horse and she slaps her riding car up onto her leg. Show her frustration. It's this hilarious scene, but for some reason I really like this jackhammer that he's just going into this wall with. And so it's here, and it's very similar erotic content here between Manny and Chapito.
Yeah, it's like I can see the brotherly love.
Well, you really weren't standing in a very safe place.
Well, neither are you right now, amigo.
Nice drill.
Drill? This here is a cordless, high-speed reciprocating chisel. And look, it's a bust-all. They usually don't give these to the new guys.
Relax, we're busting out of here soon.
We are done traveling together. I work solo, my friend, and I walk alone.
How'd you get a bus stop?
I'm connected, plugged in, and I had some booty to trade. Trade's the name of the game out here on the Big Reef.
Booty? Where'd you get booty?
It's all over the ocean floor.
Same place I got
Precious
booty.
Coins. You people and your fancy
On the
boats
internet.
never know about it, because you just never stop and look.
I want to trade something.
Well, you came to the right place, Sonny. What you be needing?
A hug?
Nope. That's the one thing I ain't got for you.
Gun.
Ooh, that's gonna cost some. What do you got on you?
My turtleneck?
Oh, yeah, that is nice. Acrylic?
No, it's all natural.
Oh, too bad. Natural fibers are so uncomfortable underwater.
I know.
When you got something worth trading, come see old Chapito. He'll do you right.
All kinds of shit. Check out the fucking awesome hammer, Chapito.
Yo, Beto.
Have you ever seen an authentic little chipper?
A little chipper? No, I haven't. But I'd sure love to give it a test drive. Say, little chipper, you're okay. Da-dee-da-da. Go on. Da-dee-da-da. Blah-dee-dee-dee.
You know, a little clear nail polish would fix these right up.
Oh, rusty
You know, a
anchor.
little clear nail polish would fix these right up.
Da-dee-da-da.
Hey, Cheppy, check out the hosiery.
Say, these are
I'm
real
always checking out
silk.
the
Where'd
hosiery
you
in my
find them?
town.
I've been wearing them the whole time.
You too? Well then, here's your new best friend.
Ah, my first Sproutella gun. Is it loaded?
No. Hey, bullets are hard to get. Going to Mississippi. Gonna...
One of the things with Manny's head and the look at stuff was that really meant that you couldn't put a lot of inventory items very close to each other, or it limited the number of things in a room, because even though you could toggle through and he would look at things kind of in sequence, it could get tricky on if you put like 3 things on a table. Is he looking at thing number 1, thing number 2, or thing number 3? So that was an interesting thing, because Lucas was known for these adventure games with very dense, lots of things to click on in the screen, and you really couldn't do that here. But the game doesn't really feel lacking for it.
I feel like that's filled in with dialogue. I mean, ultimately, you'd have those hunt the pixel games. You'd have a million things, and you'd have to have one line for each thing. And with this one, it's more like there are fewer things, but there's more to say about each one, or more context, or Manny kind of thinking to himself about things, more ruminating. So I think it adds to the character just in terms of how much you kind of understand Manny or empathize with him.
Mississippi. Anchor. Just me and little Chipper. Going to Mississippi. Oh, dee da da da. Going to Mississippi.
What the fuck is wrong with that guy?
God, this is where people nowadays would be like, Tim, the ideas you have here about this conveyor belt where you can switch directions and rip a chain with a scoop, it's really complicated, and we could eliminate a lot of work if we just cut this one puzzle. But this is like, no, we went all the way and we fully implemented exactly what I hoped would happen. The conveyor belt would reverse direction, chain would go up and down, Manny would climb down and against the force of water, bunch up the chain. This is all so complicated. Oh, and you create a little loop. I was like, this all makes sense in my mind, so the player will be able to figure this out. Like the way that you looped it over that boat. I don't even know if that would work. That's like when you whip a hose to like get it uncaught when you're watering the plants in the backyard, and your hose gets caught.
Right, yeah. Do a little whiplash effect, yeah.
How convenient.
one thing that was a little weird on animating all this underwater stuff, when you animated a little section like Manny jumping off the conveyor belt or climbing up a chain or getting dragged along by a boat or whatever, you would always try to add that element of the physics of being underwater.
Yeah.
And then seeing the harsh contrast of when you're back in interactive mode and we're still using the same animation of him walking above water. It was hard for an animator to get over that. These little things you can't let go of.
You would have had to do a whole new set of anims. Like.
Yes. And the other thing is, like, that may not have been the thing that would have stopped.
So one of the things that was another technical problem that was really interesting was the save load, because I wanted to cut a bunch of corners on save load to just make it a little easier to implement. And we had talked about things like you could only save and load, or when you load, it would load at the beginning of a room and back up content a little bit, or just do it where it was a little bit more convenient. And Tim really wanted a really high fidelity save load. And I remember trying to talk him out of it, and he threw the gauntlet down, and he was like, if Manny's in the middle of a line and there's a puff of smoke hanging in the air, and I hit save, when he restores, he should pick up from the middle of that line where he was at, and that puff of smoke should be in the air. And I was like, all right, man, if that's what you want, that's what you're going to get. And it was a big pain. It took a lot of work to get it there. But that's the way the game shipped, and that's kind of, with controls and things like that. Tim was pretty uncompromising and had a vision of what he wanted this thing to be. And as much as we were able, we gave him what he wanted.
Tim sounds like kind of a dick.
So this whole environment, I think, was worked on around the end of the game, and we had to bring a few other artists on at the end in order to get it all done.
Yeah. No, and then I kind of remember that towards the end, because it was just like a skeleton crew, because I think just the budget had gotten so big that I just remember Pete and a few other people working on it for a couple months or something.
Yeah.
While all of us had to move on to other projects.
All that water is running in the Rebel Salt engine. The game is running in the Jedi Knight engine, and the
oh, that's right.
All the stream videos from the Rebel Salt engine.
That is right.
So we're compositing Rebel Salt technology on top of Jedi Knight technology, and then all the Lua scripting for the gameplay. Is that what comprised the Grime engine, which we never actually called the Grime engine at the time, but Brett wanted to call it the Grime engine.
Oh, that's funny.
And in later, he's been able to do enough interviews where he's called it the Grime engine that people just call it the Grime engine. Now that's fine. It should have a name.
Everything should.
It's a bus doll.
I'm gonna bust all my nut. Did I do that?
I can see why they don't give these chisels to the new guys.
I can't even imagine what was going through his head at this point, because just the size of this game. Being able to absorb it all before it's realized.
And he always had a really good idea of where we were and what was going on. And we were talking earlier about how there really wasn't a schedule that I remember, an art schedule for this game. It almost seemed like we just all sort of chose tasks, and then we had Leslie sort of following up to make sure we were doing them in about as much time as they should take, or not getting bogged down or stuck.
Those look like my sister's curling irons.
I was just
Okay,
going to say,
like-
those things always scared me. They're truly
It's like
terrifying.
the
Those
curling iron
grinder.
things?
No,
Oh, the grinders.
The grinders. The curling irons, to a lesser degree.
Those are based on my sister's curling iron. No, you don't call them curling irons. Curlers. Based on my
Curlers,
sister's curlers.
right.
And my terrible fear of curlers.
They're fearsome things.
Fucking curlers! What the fuck? Whoa! What'd I do?
I can't get out of here. There's no ladder. I can't get out of here. There's no ladder. Uh-oh.
Get this chain around this fucking anchor.
Gladys! You're okay.
Well, it hurt a little when I hit, but my head cracked open an aft panel here.
I gotta tell you, carnal, I thought you were dead.
Oh, Manny, I've been having a great time. Listen. I ask you, is there an engine that can resist the love that's in these hands?
Apparently not.
I remember being really, see how their hands kind of clip through their sleeves? I remember being really annoyed by that as an animator, having to settle to do it because you couldn't get the poses or the lines you needed without making things kind of collide. It's something we just had to kind of live with.
And something we still live with today.
How's that gonna hook?
So that chain that's holding the ship, at one point we had to add joints to that because I think at one point it's animated and it kept crashing and we couldn't figure out why, and we eventually figured out that you couldn't have more than 99 joints in a rig in soft image at that point, and it had like 100 joints or something.
No, but again, it's this funny thing when people, maybe see this stuff and they think of movies now that maybe look better, but we were having to deal with a lot of limitations.
I'm actually really, really excited to see the remastered version because, you look at elements of this game that was made over 15 years ago, and visually it still kind of holds up to games that you can see today.
It does.
So, curious about what it's going to look like after the Double Fine gets finished with it. I think it'll be pretty special.
That's special. Chain around the anchor. There we go. I don't know about this animation process, but it's not the best.
Uh-oh.
We just hooked around the anchor now. That's good. That's where it needs to be, bitches! Bitch ass nigga motherfucker! Pull that motherfucker out the ocean!
I can't believe you got it to float.
That was the easy part. The trick's gonna be busting through that big coral reef out there.
Bust through a big coral reef, eh? It just so happens I got some hardware up the beach you might be interested in.
Oh yeah, this will do just fine. Just give me a sec to do some figuring.
Dude, really? Just fucking look at the expanse out there. You don't need to walk out, that asshole.
It's the edge of the world, but not the edge I'm looking for. Here, what good's a relationship without trust?
True, a relationship without trust is about as empty as a gun without bullets. Guess you didn't realize a smart girl always puts an extra round in her hat for mad days. Come on, let's go.
Mitchie, you don't know what you're...
I know exactly what I'm doing. Now move!
Would you just listen to my escape plan first?
Trouble in paradise, kids?
You're letting us go right now, or your boy Friday here gets it.
Well, I hate to see you go, Manny, but the lady seems to have made up her mind.
I'm serious. I'll shoot him.
Fine. It really doesn't work for me anyway.
But I thought I'll shoot you then.
No, you won't. You're too good, remember?
I'm not good anymore. You've taken that out of me, keeping me a prisoner here. I'm gonna crack you open like a fake thing gauze. I'm gonna...
Kid's all right. She's a firecracker, but a night in the cooler usually dampens her fuse.
Right. See you next video, folks. Thanks for fucking watching this crazy shit.